Hello. We are Reddit Reads, and welcome to the channel. In today's subreddit of Choosing Beggars, we're going to be taking a look at 4 really great stories. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy. This first story was posted by Armada5, so a big shout out to them. With the title of Married into a Choosing Beggars Family. Let's get straight into the story. If you think occasionally encountering a CB is bad, try marrying into a family full of them. I made that mistake. My wife came from full-blooded white trash who assumed that since I worked a decent job, I was obligated to cover all their expenses. Example. I came home from work one day and found my wife crying on the phone with her mom. Her mom had called and was needing $2,000 right away to hire a lawyer or she was going to lose everything, and my wife convinced me to give it to her. It was about half of the savings we had at the time. Fast forward a week later, I'm on FB and I see my mill, her partner, and several of my other in-laws have rented a massive condo and are vacationing for a week on the beach. I asked my wife why her mom could afford that but couldn't afford the money for an attorney. She told me that her mom and partner have 2 bank accounts, one for necessities and one for fun money, and they never pay for necessities, like attorneys, out of their fun money account. That is how they paid for their vacation. I had not gone on vacation for 2 years. This was just one example, but I would get about 3 to 4 demands for money from her family every month. I was relieved the day I signed the divorce papers. This next story was posted by Priest 1986, so a big shout out to them. With the title of, You Want to Be Rude and Racist to People That's Trying to Help You, Now You Can Enjoy Half of a Roof Over Your Head. Let's get straight into the story. I own a small home improvement company. I do all right for myself, but for some reason, my family thinks I'm rich. They don't realize that I'm saving money for all 4 of my kids to go to college, and I have 12 employees to take care of. All my money is tied up. The roof on my aunt's house was in deplorable condition. Last July my grandmother talked me into fixing it for free. It wasn't an easy job either. It's a 12/12 pitch, 3 layers thick, with cedar shake on the bottom. Normally I would charge $15,000 for this type of job, but I let my grandmother talk me into it. I asked my employees to volunteer their only day off that week. To my surprise, all 10 of my laborers decided to show up. They all refused to clock in. They told me my family is their family, and for a family they only charge cerveza, beer. Honestly, I was humbled by their generosity. As soon as we get to my aunt's house we start setting up, and my guys started playing the radio. They were listening to some very Mexican music. Then my trashy-ass cousin decided she was going to go outside and start yelling at these guys about the music and had them turn it off. About an hour later, my cousin came outside again to tell these guys to put their shirts on, because she felt like it was inappropriate for her 8-year-old daughter to see a man working with his shirt off. After the tear-off was done, and we installed a new roof deck, I went out and got a couple buckets of chicken and a few cases of beer. Everyone was standing in the yard eating chicken and drinking beer, talking and joking around and having a good time. Then my cousin decided to come out yet again. This time she's complaining about everyone drinking on the job. This time I pulled her to the side and reminded her that these guys were doing a $15,000 job for free. I flat out told her she needs to shut the fuck up and get back in the house. That's when she decided to slap me across my face. Right away I called the police and had her arrested. After the police drove off with her in handcuffs, my aunt completely lost her shit. She started screaming at me and then threatened to call ICE on my employees. She told me I should be ashamed of myself for not hiring legal American citizens. I told my crew to pack up their shit and hit the road. They are nicer than me because they went up and tarped the roof off before they left. About 2 days later, I sent my aunt a text message stating that I expect a sincere, well-written apology letter for all of my employees if she wanted her roof finished. About a week later I was served a subpoena by the police. My aunt was suing me for damages. I explained the whole situation to the judge and showed her the message that I sent my aunt requesting a simple apology letter, to which the judge fully agreed on my behalf. My aunt was ordered by the court to write 10 sincere apology letters to my employees before I finish her roof. She still hasn't written those letters, and she still doesn't have a roof. This next story was posted by Akrofsky, so a big shout out to them. With the title of, Frequent Shopper, The Choosing Beggar, Demands Employee Discount. Let's get straight into the story. This is a story my mother shared with me. While working at a large retail store, several of her coworkers complained of a woman who found damaged items at every visit and demanded a discount. She came in frequently, and the employees dreaded working with her because they knew she would pressure them into lowering the price of whatever she wanted. When my mom heard about this, she planned to deal with this customer herself so that no one else would have to ever again. When the woman came in, the workers pointed her out, and the mother went over to help her. At the time, the CB insisted that she was just looking around, so my mom went back to her other work. A few minutes later, CB approached my mother with a broken necklace and demanded a discounted price.
I'm sorry, but we have others that are not broken, and I can sell you one of those.
Oh no, I want this one at a discount.
Then let me fix it for you, and I can sell it to you.
Oh no, you need to give me this one at a discount.
I'm sorry, I won't be able to do that today. Would you like to look around for something else?
CB walks away in a huff. 5 minutes later, CB approaches the counter with a sweater, and pulling apart the seams as hard as she can, states that there is a hole and will need a discount. My mom knows that this is the last sweater of this kind, and says,
Looking at this closely, you can see that there is nothing wrong with it.
No, it has a hole. You have to give me a discount.
I'm sorry, but there's nothing wrong with this sweater. I can't discount it.
I can't wear it when it has a hole in the armpit.
There is no hole here, it is simply where the pieces are joined.
Then you must give me your employee discount.
The following is my mom's very thought-out response.
Absolutely not.
Everyone in the store went dead still.
Oh now, don't stress about it.
I could lose my job using my discount for this. I could be fired.
Oh okay, I was just kidding.
Do you want the sweater at the regular price, or not?
Okay.
This woman never asked my mother for a discount ever again. Having your boundaries set in stone is the best way to prevent entitled people from running over your life. I love my mom. This next story was posted by crispy_toasty, so a big shout out to them. With the title of, Roommate Brings Home Coworker, She Wears Out Her Welcome Quick. Let's get straight into the story. R1, roommate who brought her home. R2, a stoic roommate who is really chill and not much bothers him. CB, girl R1 worked with, 1 year younger than him, and the same age as me. So R1 brings home CB because her parents couldn't pick her up from work for a good few hours, and she lives super far away. R1 offers our couch to her. We all talk for a bit. R1 gives her some sweatpants and a t-shirt, and she spends the night on our couch without incident. R1 goes out of town and CB messages me asking if she could stay over. I told her she could, and then she asked me to pick her up. Reluctantly I did. Once we got back she insisted we stop at Walgreens to get blunt wraps. She asked me for money. This was the first red flag. I tried to ask her, why did you have me stop if you don't have money? She then said, I thought you were buying them for me. I'm a girl after all. I thought this was weird because we weren't dating, or even hooking up. I let her raid my car change dish and she got her wraps. She then demanded that I take her to go get weed. I tried to explain to her that the only shit I allow in my car is nicotine since the car is still in my father's name. We were back at the apartment and she kept trying to beg me to take her to get weed. I told her again no, and she fucking says, if you won't drive me, then what are you doing for me? R2 and I burst into laughter. This was probably the funniest thing we've heard in a while. Mind you, she's sitting on my couch, wearing my shirt, and she raided our fridge and helped herself to our mac and cheese. Eventually, her dealer agrees to deliver, and she rolls herself a blunt. I didn't want to smoke because I quit for work, 8 months clean now, and my roommate didn't like smoking. Then she looks at R2 and says, please take a hit for me. I swear, I had a 6-pack from laughing afterwards. She smokes most of it and leaves the rest for the morning. I asked her what time she was leaving the next morning, and she said 10. I told her to just leave my shirt on my bed, as I had to leave for work at 9. I go to work, and come home at around 4, and guess who is still sitting on my couch, in my shirt? She still hadn't left. Turns out she lied, and had the night shift at work. According to my roommate, while she was there, she opened 6 boxes of cereal, and finished 2. She's 5'2" and 120 pounds. Where did it go? And made a box of macaroni. I look over to my house change dish, and it's fucking empty. She asks me for a ride to work, and I agree, anything to get her out of my apartment. I drive her to work, and she wants me to stop so she can get chips. I say, I thought you spent the last of your money on weed, and she fucking pulls out the change from my change dish. Needless to say, after I dropped her off, I never spoke to her again. She asked a few times to stay over and told me you owe me it. You have a house out here and I don't. I tell her that if she shows up I'm calling the cops. She left us alone after that. Hello. Reddit reads here again. We hoped you enjoyed today's episode of Choosing Beggars. If you did, smash the like button, and remember to subscribe, for guaranteed, daily, Reddit content.